Welcome to Quick Chats, powered by LGT. I'm Bailey Price, your host, and today I'm excited to have Ebony Washington here to talk to us about cryptocurrency and the IRS. So welcome, Ebony.
Hi, thank you so much for the warm introduction. My name is Ebony Washington. I've worked at LGT for about 3 years. So right now I work on a variety of different clients. LGT has several niches and I work in pretty much all of those. But I'm really excited to come here and talk to you guys about cryptocurrency today.
For sure. So starting with cryptocurrency, why don't you tell me a little bit about what it is, give us a nice little background, and why the IRS would care about something like cryptocurrency?
Right. So cryptocurrency really is just a virtual way of having a mean of exchange of currency. So there's different types out there. One of the more popular ones is Bitcoin. But you can just use it as a form of currency, same as you would with dollars, of any currency.
Interesting. So it seems like the IRS would have some kind of interest in keeping tabs on this. Why does the IRS care specifically about cryptocurrency?
So the IRS cares a lot about it just because it's so new. They don't really have that much information on it, but they do know that people are using it to, exchange goods and services. So they want to make sure that they're accounting for all of that revenue that people are starting to make and see with all these new cryptocurrencies.
Right. So when they talk about cryptocurrency, it seems like it's a little intangible because it's all done online. There's nothing physical to actually trade back and forth. What is the IRS doing to deal with these kind of issues?
Right. So right now, the IRS is just trying to understand all these forms of cryptocurrency. Because of the way that they're structured, it's hard for them to have exact amount of what the cryptocurrency is or who's exchanging it or anything. So really it becomes for that person to keep track of all of what they have, make sure that they have proper documentation, which is their bigger thing, as they start to get more understanding of cryptocurrency and see that people are trading it on different platforms. They'll have more information and be able to make the adjustments there.
For sure. So it seems like documentation is always important with the IRS. When we talk about a company selling a virtual currency, if they don't receive a 1099, how are they making sure to log this and create documentation that will last longer?
Right. I'm glad that you mentioned 1099s because typically a lot of different trading platforms will issue 1099s. But as you said, not every platform does that and not everyone has access to that. So really it's about the person making sure that they're able to document by what they say. They want you to make a basis with the fair market value of the currency that you get on the date that you get it. So really it's just making sure that you know what that exchange rate is at the time into US dollars for the IRS and being able to show this is what I purchased or got the cryptocurrency at. And it works in two forms. Typically there's someone who is dealing in cryptocurrency for investment purposes, and they will see that as property. And so in that term, you would want to make sure you have it tracked for tax on capital gains. But if you're just receiving cryptocurrency for a good or service, then in that case, you want to just have documented what it was when you received it because that will be considered income.
Right. I'm glad you mentioned these goods and services because I think that's a lot of what's going on with cryptocurrency right now. Are businesses able to accept cryptocurrency in exchange for goods and services?
Yes, so they can, and it all flows back to that documentation aspect. You can definitely accept cryptocurrency for goods and services. You just want to make sure that you know what is the value of that when you get it, so that way you can have proper documentation of it and be accurate with your revenue or anything else. And even if you use the cryptocurrency and pay it out to a contractor, that person also needs to make sure that they know what that rate is for that cryptocurrency at the time too.
For sure. And so stepping down, there aren't any obstacles or issues with independent contractors using cryptocurrency either?
So there's no issues necessarily, just they also have to keep documentation because that will be considered a part of their gross income. So they want to make sure that they're reporting that correctly on their taxes.
Right. And so if a company accepts cryptocurrency and at no point translates it to US dollars, keeps it in this kind of cryptocurrency form, are they required to declare that on their tax form?
So in the example, if they were to use that cryptocurrency for like an investment, say you get it and you put it into your portfolio, then you wouldn't have to declare it at that time, only if you were to sell the cryptocurrency. But if you're accepting cryptocurrency for a good or service, that is considered income. So they would want to report it onto their taxes as a part of their income. What the exact exchange rate might be, it might have to be a ballpark guess, because with these cryptocurrencies, the value is changing constantly. So it is a little bit difficult if you've already gotten the cryptocurrency and you're not sure. I would definitely say to try to look it up to the best of your ability and see what the history has been, and then convert it that way. Kind of the same thing you would do with foreign currency into US dollars.
Great. So I know the IRS is consistently trying to stay up to date with these changing currencies and with these new coins that come up. Recently, they proposed some new rules in terms of compliance for virtual coins. Can you give us a little insight into what these new rules were and why they would matter to our clients?
Right. So right now, on the scope of compliance for people and for businesses, unless you're getting this as income, typically they just want to know, do you have virtual currency? And that could be any type. So they really just want to make sure that you have it. But for future, I think that the rules that they have will change as they start to understand cryptocurrencies more. So the questions will change from, do you own it, to, how much do you have, or like, what was the basis at this time for in terms of capital gains in situations like that. So definitely they're going to need to make sure as they move forward that they track what their basis was at the beginning by, finding out that exchange rate between the cryptocurrency and the US dollars, just so in the future, if they do sell it or, have to report it as income, that they have that information.
Right. So it sounds like the big thing when it comes to cryptocurrency is making sure you keep this documentation, is making sure you have these records as you go forward.
Documentation is very key. And right now, that's all that you kind of can do. As I said, cryptocurrency, the world of crypto is changing every day. So it does make it a little bit difficult to catch up sometimes with what you have to do. Biggest takeaway from this is definitely have documentation, proper documentation, so that if the IRS does come knocking, that you have answers for them.
So because documentation is so important, I think it's possible that clients or consumers could have trouble tracking this or could need some assistance in tracking this. Are there methods, are there ways, are there services that LGT can offer to help clients kind of tackle this new unknown domain of cryptocurrency?
Yeah, basically the same thing that anyone does with their taxes when they send it in, especially to our firm. We can handle tracking that for you. We just need the information at the time, and we are definitely able to help you, get answers, especially as you mentioned before. Say you got cryptocurrency and you're not specifically sure about what the basis was. We can definitely help you figure that out, tracking certain things. If you give us the documentation, we can definitely take care of it for you and make sure that you have that recorded. So whenever you need it, we can provide it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ebony, for joining us today and sharing your knowledge about cryptocurrency and the evolving world in which we live.
Yeah, thank you so much for having this chat with me.
Of course. And be sure to follow us on social media. You can find those links down in the description below. And be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications for future updates. Thanks and have a great day.